I'm here with Zaki Wazir, and you are the VSP Managing Director.
Managing Director and owner, yes, that's correct.
And we see that on all the Rabbitohs training shirts.
You do?
It must be a thrill to see the players wearing your logo.
It is. It's a thrill to be able to, it's the ability to be able to recognise our success and be able to sponsor somebody at that level or a team at that level.
And VSP, I know it doesn't stand for very special players, even though they all are.
No, video security products. It's what we do. We import video security products, cameras, servers, recorders, that sort of thing from all over the world and import and distribute in Australia.
Now we have a connection. Our wives have been good friends since they were kids.
Yes. Michelle's good. My wife Michelle, she's good friends with everybody in the area.
Yeah. It must be a thrill to see the likes of Cameron Murray, Latrell Mitchell wearing your shirts, and you get quite a bit of exposure. I know Bunnies TV's always taking photos and video on the boys wearing those shirts.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it also allows me the opportunity to talk to these guys outside of just the playing field and when they're playing. So we engage a little bit off the field, and it's pretty cool.
All right, we'll take you back. How'd you become a South supporter?
Well, that probably goes back to 1971. 1970, my mum and dad and myself travelled out to Australia from Egypt. We got here, I think, October it was, 1970, landed in Australia, couldn't speak a word of English, went to school in 1971. That's when South were flying high. I think that was the last time they won a grand final prior to 14.
Yep.
And the school, there was just a lot of South supporters. The popular kids at school were South supporters. I didn't know who Souths were, but I became a South supporter so I can try to assimilate and make friends. So it sort of goes back that far and has a special sort of place in my heart. Helped me sort of become an Australian.
Helped you become an Aussie going for the mighty Rabbitohs.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Unreal. Tell us your thoughts on the 2025 season so far.
I think it's remarkable what's happened since last year. The playing group now seems to have gelled. They seem to be playing for each other. What's even more interesting is the way they just grind out wins. They're there till the last minute. They fight all the way through. They don't capitulate like they did last year. The body language, I think, as well, and just seeing the players when they're around each other on the field, particularly when a try is scored, they seem to be a happy bunch, and I don't think that was the case the last 2 years. They sort of run in, congratulate each other a lot more so than what they did in the last couple of years. So I think he's brought them all together, and they're just a happy team again.
The great coach Wayne Bennett's.
He's a smart guy.
He is.
Yeah.
Have you got any favourite players at the club?
Probably no, not really. I've been fortunate enough to be able to spend time with them off the field at functions and that sort of thing. And they're a lovely bunch of guys. They're just like you and I. They're there to help. They do their thing for the community and whatnot. So I think they're all pretty special guys.
I know you were out there on Friday night when we beat the Roosters.
Yes.
You enjoy that one?
It was pretty special. I had a box full of clients, all of them Rooster supporters.
Nice.
And I sort of enjoyed giving it back to them because it's been a few years, I think, since we've won a game against them. So yeah, it was good. But again, it was just the way they ground the win out. Fought all the way through. It was good.
There's been some great wins over the Roosters. I was at the game when Reno scored that magic try. I was with some Rooster supporters in a box too that day.
Yeah.
But I think one of my favourites was in 2014. You mentioned that before when we knocked out the Roosters in that elimination final. That was a good day too.
It's funny, when that happened, you're almost content. You think, right, yeah, well, if that's a grand final for us, then that's a grand final. But the fact that we went all the way through was really special. But yeah, when you knock them out, you think, well, if this is as good as it gets, that's also fine. 2014
was just such a great day when we won that grand final because you mentioned 1971, and we had all those dark years. And as a player, I was part of teams that failed, that got to the semis and couldn't get the job done.
Yep.
But then, things happened, and the club evolved to finally win that game. Was a pretty good thing.
I think so. And again, you talk to some of those older players, which I've had the fortune of doing, and they seem to have had the belief in themselves from very early on in the season. Now, without putting the kibosh on things, it just seems to be the way it is this year as well. I don't know how they're going to go. It's still too early, but there's that belief and that real camaraderie around the side, which I think has just been missing in the last few years.
Yep. Now, we'll move on to some of your other interests, and you've got your race tech machine behind you there. Yes. So are you a car enthusiast and also a race car driver now?
Oh well, yeah, you can use that term loosely. Yes, I do. I do go out and have a go. Yes, I've been racing in a couple of categories. I race in the Australian production car category, and I also race in another category called RX8 Cup, which is a one-make series.
Okay, and so you've said you've raced at Bathurst a few times, and you've got a Bathurst 6 hour coming up.
Got a Bathurst 6 hour Easter Sunday. So yeah, we will drive down there on the Wednesday prior, set the garage up. Thursday we do scrutineering, get the car ready, put all the livery on it for the event, and then practice Friday, practice qualifiers Saturday, and race for 6 hours from 11 a.m. Sunday morning.
Unreal.
Yeah.
And so what sort of car is that? It's not like a supercar or anything?
No, that's production car racing. So basically the cars are very, very close to standard. They've got a whole heap of safety items, roll cages, fuel bladders, that sort of thing. You can do minimal modifications based on what the category allows. So I race a BMW and M4, but there's all sorts of things. There's BMWs, there's Toyotas, there's a Toyota Camry that raced back in the Bathurst 1000, I think, in the mid-80s, so that's back again for another shot. There's Holdens and Fords and Camaros and all sorts of things. So it's a very, very open event, loosely based on production cars.
We went through Bathurst, me and Sam, a month or two ago, and we went for a drive around the track, and it's quite scary when you go through Rock Skyline and down through there. It can be a little bit hairy at times.
Yeah, well, we're accelerating down that hill, so we're normally coming down that hill with a foot on the throttle, doing about 140, 150 k's.
Wow!
But you get to use both sides of the roads, obviously. When you're there in a road car,
you got to stay on the left.
Yeah. But yeah, you're very close to the concrete. You're very close to the wall. But you just got to just put yourself in the zone and go for it.
You got some nice pieces of memorabilia here around.
Yeah, it's my private office, and a lot of the stuff here's got meanings. I've got my dad. My dad was a carpenter. He passed away a year ago. I've got some of his hand tools framed up. I've got some tapestries that my mum and her mum stitched. They're probably about 50 or 60 years old, those, I think.
Nice.
And I've got just a collection of old movie posters. These are all original movie posters, so they sort of stand back 40, 50, 60 years, some of them, and they're just the favourite movies that I used to enjoy watching with my mum and dad. So yeah, I was just able to track down the originals and frame them and put them up, and they're pretty cool. It's just a nice place to hang out.
Unreal.
Yeah.
And so VSP is going all right? You've been around since, what, 1993?
1993, yeah. It's like an overnight success that took 30 years, as they call it. Yeah, I've got a signed jersey here. It's the Magpies and the Dragons from 1963. Split down the middle, as you can see, signed by Arthur Summons. Arthur Summons is actually my wife's cousin, great cousin, or third cousin, something like that.
Wow.
I can't remember what it was.
Arthur Summons and Norm Provan on the Summons Provan Summons Trophy that they hand out to the NRL Grand Final winners.
Yeah. And I've got the 2014 signed jersey. That sits alongside the 71 signed photograph card.
Unreal.
So, yeah, I think those two belong to each other.
They do.
Yeah.
The last two grand finals we've won.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's another photo here that to me looks really special. There's just something about these two when Cody was congratulating Adam on the point scoring record, and didn't seem like just a frivolous congratulation. There was really something about them.
Yep.
I think they meant a lot to each other.
Yep, two of our greatest halves.
Absolutely,
right there.
yeah.
And Cody's still running around, and so is Renault, except he's at the wrong club now. He's at the Bronx.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us, Zaki, and go the mighty Rabbitohs.
Thank you.